If you've got 5 minutes to spare and need a refresher on the Game of Thrones saga, here's a quick breakdown of everything that went down in Season 2. Gather round, for now your watch begins. But beware of spoilers and some of that famous HBO TVMA kind of content. Season 2 officially kicks off the conflict known as the War of Five Kings, with King Robert Baratheon dead, disgusting Joffrey's legitimacy in doubt, and the newly crowned King in the North stirring up trouble. Other would-be monarchs see their opportunity. That includes both of Robert's younger brothers, the humorless, grammatically obsessed Stannis, and the charismatic, lovable Renly. Stannis has two advantages. He's got the stronger claim, and he has a witch. Melisandre, a devotee of the Lord of Light, convinces Stannis' followers that he's a hero of a prophecy called Azor Ahai. And as we see over the course of the season, magic is real, y'all, and she's one of the few in Westeros who's still got it. Meanwhile, Catelyn pays a visit to the Baratheon brothers and tries to forge a united alliance against King's Landing, even as her son Robb racks up victory after victory against the Lannister army. Not only does she fail, she's also blamed for Renly's death when he's stabbed through the heart by Melisandre's shadow demon baby smoke monster spawn thing. Look, she gave birth to it in a tunnel, and Sir Davos, that poor bastard, had to watch. It was weird. Fortunately, Catelyn is protected by Brienne of Tarth, the one knight in Westeros who actually knows how to keep an oath and how to wear stormtrooper armor. Two very important things for a knight. Catelyn returns to the north and charges Brienne with escorting the captive Jaime Lannister back to King's Landing to trade him for Arya and Sansa. Little does she know, Arya is already making her way back home, at least until she winds up imprisoned and working for the cruel Tywin Lannister. She does, however, strike up an interesting relationship with the elder Lannister, avoiding the more painful fates of some of her fellow prisoners. Rat bucket. Eventually, Arya catches a break when she frees Jaqen H'ghar, making an ally out of a master assassin who can transform his own face. Sansa is having far worse luck in King's Landing as the captive fiancée of King Joffrey. As the king's hand, Tyrion does his best to rein in Joffrey's more disgusting instincts and prepare the city for war against Stannis' overwhelming forces. But even though Stannis has the numbers, Tyrion saves the day in one of those classic Game of Thrones battles, obliterating Stannis' fleet with wildfire, the Westerosi version of a weapon of mass destruction. Unfortunately, his only reward is a demotion and a nasty facial scar that hopefully chicks will dig. Sansa is cut a break when Joffrey decides he'd rather marry Margaery Tyrell, the woman who had been betrothed to the late Renly Baratheon. But as Littlefinger warns, this is far from the end of her troubles. The Stark family suffers another huge setback when they're betrayed by Theon Greyjoy. Theon, who was never really a cool guy, decides he'd rather try to impress his family of pirate marauders than honor his commitments to House Stark. So he goes full jerk, usurps control of Winterfell, and pretends to have executed both Bran and Rickon. Instead, the two youngest Stark children flee into the wilderness, protected only by the wildling Osha and the ever-faithful Hodor. Theon, though, quickly regrets going full jerk when he's betrayed by his own men.
Thought he'd never shut up.
As for Daenerys, who's hanging out all the way over in Essos, she finds that having 3 dragons doesn't immediately make one a contender for the throne. With her dwindling band of allies struggling to survive in the harsh wastelands, they make their way to the prosperous city of Qarth. There, wealthy merchant Xaro Xhoan Daxos offers to bankroll Dany's invasion of Westeros, in exchange for her hand in marriage. But as Ser Jorah reminds her, better to win hearts and minds rather than sell herself to a new master. And when the leaders of Qarth make the mistake of trying to steal Dany's dragons, this creepy bastard learns the hard way just how powerful a weapon they can be in the right hands. Plus, Daxos turns out to be full of it anyway. And you get locked up in your own vault if you screw with the Mother of Dragons, Daxos. I guess he knows that now. As in Season 1, all this squabbling over the Iron Throne is merely distracting the people of Westeros from the true threat lurking in the north. Jon Snow gets some first-hand exposure to the danger of the White Walkers when he joins a Night's Watch expedition beyond the Wall. There he encounters Craster, yet another disgusting man who offers up his own inbred children as sacrifices to the White Walkers. Jon accompanies a veteran ranger named Qhorin Halfhand to a place called the Fist of the First Men. Their goal is to assassinate Mance Rayder, a leader uniting the wildlings to invade the land south of the Wall. Instead, Qhorin and Jon find themselves captured by the wildlings. Qhorin convinces Jon to kill him and pretend to defect from the Night's Watch. Even as Jon finds himself stuck deep in enemy territory, a massive White Walker army begins its slow march to the Fist of the First Men, right past Sam Tarly, who gets a very stern look. So stern, in fact, it ends the entire season. For more Game of Thrones, check out Season 1 in 5 minutes and Cinefix's What's the Difference episode about sex in Westeros. And as always, be sure to subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.